Hello, I'm going to be explaining transcription in prokaryotes. So here we have a transcription unit, the two strands, and then this will be RNA here. And since this bottom strand is 3' to 5', RNA will be complementary to that because it's the template strand, and it will be 5' to 3'. And transcription happens from left to right because nucleotides are added to the 3' end usually in RNA. The coding strand will be lined up with the RNA strand, so the 5' ends and the 3' ends will match up. So at the start of transcription, the holoenzyme is required because it contains a sigma factor that allows binding, and this binding initiates transcription. So here's the +1 nucleotide where transcription begins. It's the first nucleotide of the gene to be transcribed, and upstream from this we have the -10 and the -35. These are consensus sequences for RNA polymerase to bind, and that also allows transcription to begin. So all three of these sites are very important for the beginning of the process. And down here, upstream of the +1 nucleotide, this is known as the promoter region because this is where the start of the process will take place. So the process of termination can be either row dependent or row independent. Either way involves inverted repeats, which bind together to form a termination hairpin loop that looks like this. So uracils will bind weakly to the DNA, and this allows RNA to release from the RNA polymerase, and transcription is then terminated. This process involves core enzymes, which don't have the sigma factor that's needed for transcription. So if we think about a scenario where the -10 consensus is deleted in a gene coding for an enzyme to metabolize sugar, so the -10 enzyme would be right here, but it's missing. So what will happen is the holoenzyme will not be able to recognize this -10 consensus because it's not there. So it won't be able to find the RNA polymerase binding site, so transcription wouldn't be able to begin and sugar would not be able to be metabolized. Here are my references. I used the PlayPosit videos that we watch in class.